I am HOTTOGO.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of my kids today. Jeremy put a fruit to go in Kendall's lunch, and she never eats her lunch. And so today I was like, well, she does, but like she eats all the treats. And then so lately she's not getting any treats. But then today, so she gets a fruit to go, which is kind of a treat, but a little healthier. Mm-hmm. And then today was a hot lunch. So she had pizza at school. So she didn't eat anything else. And then she came home hungry, and Jeremy said, "You can have your fruit to go." And I said, HOTTOGO, you can have your fruit to go.
I don't know what that's from.
She didn't like that, and she didn't eat it.
I know. Is that a commercial?
No,
that's Chapel Roan. It's a song.
Current hit song.
It's like a dance, like YMCA.
Oh, and it's a dance.
HOTTOGO, you can take me hot to go. Or, you can eat your fruit to go. There you go.
Hope you got all that.
Well, we're all stuck with it now.
You're welcome. Oh, that movie's coming out soon, too. There's a Moana 2 coming out.
I'll be in line.
We probably will be, actually.
Yeah. Okay, are we going?
You know
what's
a really good movie, by the way, is The Wild Robot. You should go see it.
Oh, actually, I thought that looked cute.
So good. It's not a kids movie. It's not. It's just. It's appropriate for kids.
Oh,
but it's more for. It's a movie about parenting more than anything.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's happy. It's emotional. At one point, Harley had tears streaming down her face.
Who needs a movie like that?
Foreman, you're so sentimental. I'm surprised. Okay.
Right.
And my dad's cousin's son's husband works for DreamWorks and worked on the movie.
Okay, good. Nice connection.
Nobody knows who that is.
I got that whole
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, that's
I don't
very
know what
well
to call
done.
him.
Very well. Hello there. This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the the podcast that never gets old.
We're hot to go.
Come on, that's very funny.
Do we never get old?
Yeah, this podcast is old. Let me tell you. Almost 100
Podcast that's
episodes.
always concise and to the point.
Yes, very old.
Yeah, that's
Where
right.
three people
Again,
never talk at the same time.
That's right. 3 people talking at the same time. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, is it my turn? I'm going to
You're
start.
first, Rachel.
Okay.
Yes. Remember we
I
discussed
thought we were
that?
going to say this is brought to you by the Thistle Theater, but
Well,
we'll
we
tell you
were.
a little bit about them later.
Yes. Very well done.
They have a show
Okay.
called The Ladies Foursome coming up.
Yeah.
A little later.
We'll tell you about it.
A little
Rachel
later.
was late for it, though.
Yes.
I was late for it. You know what else I was?
The ladies' threesome is waiting.
Right.
I
Yes.
shouldn't say that. I just realized that. That's
Okay.
It does sound a little, yeah.
I'm not participating in that.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing that I was late for was Thanksgiving. Bum, ba, ba. Ding, ding, ding. You can ding the bell there because that was a good one.
What a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had to drive to...
You were late for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
That's not unusual. You're late for
No.
everything.
That's not true, especially
Yes.
if Jeremy's getting us out the door. He hates being late. So
Yes,
he
but
hates
you'll still
the rest
be late
of us.
because you'll drag you.
No,
won't get out
we're
the door
on time. We're on time. If he's
Sure you
angry
are.
if we're not early, if we're on time, that's like kind of acceptable now. But if we're late, it's like we all hear about it. So
Rachel
But we-
is
Good.
like my mom trying to go for a Thanksgiving dinner where everyone's sitting in the car in the driveway. It's running. It's been running for 10 minutes, but she just has to finish doing the laundry, doing all the dishes, washing the windows, feeding the cats,
Okay.
vacuuming.
Are you in my home? Like,
My thing is, as soon as my wife is the one that wants to get going, and she says, "Are you ready?" And then I say, "Yeah, let's go." And then she starts the car, and I'm still, well, I don't have my shoes on, and where's my phone? And I need, what else am I looking for?
no, Jeremy
I
and the
need
kids
that.
are outside waiting
Yeah.
for me while I lock everything up and check everything again and grab what we're missing. And And I
Sure.
come out and get in the car.
And so you were late for Thanksgiving.
Yes, but not because of that. We were late because we had to drive to Milton, because we had to go to Milton on Thanksgiving weekend, and the traffic was horrendous. It was going from the London area to Toronto, and all the construction that's along there right now.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's horrendous. So something that should have taken us like an hour and 20 minutes took 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And it was. So Jeremy.
And Milton is literally the garden spot of Toronto.
What's that mean? Is it like a good thing?
No.
Like you're not really in Toronto yet, but it's like the edge.
Do you find Milton to be a really
hot
nice
spot
place to visit? A nice place to visit?
I don't know. I don't really travel around it, but sure. I mean, I guess it's okay.
Whoever goes, no one goes to Milton. You always
People
drive
live in
past
You
it.
just drive by
You
it.
drive
People
through
live
it.
there. People
Do
live
they?
in Milton.
Really?
Yeah, because they work
That's
in
I
debatable.
think you're right, Forman. Is that
Prove
true,
it.
really? Is
Milton
that
is
true?
like Cambridge. Doesn't really exist.
Is
No,
that
yeah.
true?
It
Is that
exists
true?
because I was there.
Okay.
But we were
It's
late.
impossible to know for sure.
Yes.
Well,
Are
I
you
can
sure you didn't make it all the way to Mississauga?
I bet everyone in Milton watches NCIS.
Yeah. Are you sure you weren't in Oakville?
No,
I mean, who
I
knows?
wasn't in Oakville. No,
All
we
right.
didn't go that way.
Well, you had to be close.
I mean, it's not that far, right?
Okay.
From
Yeah.
So you were in Burlington.
we have family in Oakville, we have family in Mississauga, and we all kind of met in Milton. If that helps. Anyway,
If you have family in Mississauga and where? Oakville?
Oakville.
And you choose to meet in Milton, something's not right.
Well, we need somebody. We have a big family.
I know this
and
isn't the topic.
somebody
but
had to have
anyway.
a bigger enough house to fit every. Anyway, we're going to Milton. Okay, the traffic is horrendous. Jeremy's driving, and he's got his little GPS on his phone, all set up on the thing, like it's magnet to the the
Sure.
vent
Dash.
or whatever. Yeah. And so he's got, for some reason, he's always got the map going, which on this day was fine because there's so many slowdowns.
We have to, because when the passenger refuses to glance at the phone while we're driving and help us out, we have to do it all by ourselves and then have this exact argument in the car about, could you just fucking help for once? She can't. Anyway, also not the point.
Okay. I feel like we're living double lives, Forman. Like we're mirrored. We're mirrored of each other's lives here. So all I'm hearing for the first probably hour and a half is Jeremy talking about the traffic.
Yes.
He's just like, oh my God, what's going on here? Oh my, look at this. Now it's red. Oh, it gets a little bit orange here. Oh, then it's back to red. Oh, what the F's going on? And, and he's talking about, there's so many comments about the traffic. And I finally said, I can see the traffic. I am in this with you. You don't need to keep commenting on it because I can see it. And then he just looked at me and he's like, fine, I'm not going to talk anymore. And then I said, that's fine. So then we drive for a bit. The kids are just, actually, they weren't even really talking to us at this point because they had their headphones on and they were on their iPads.
Oh, I thought you were enjoying a rousing rendition of Kids Bop Radio.
Well,
on Sirius
we do
XM.
that. We do that sometimes, yeah.
That would make
because
me
it's
not
appropriate. Talk. It's appropriate.
Not in traffic, it
so
isn't.
he's not talking anymore. He's not talking. Well, we weren't ever really stopped, actually, which is kind of good. We were always moving, but it was just slow. So then maybe a half an hour later, I stupidly said, my God, what is with all this traffic? It's not letting up. Like, there was literally at no point for probably an hour and a half, we were going 60. Continually moving, but not going fast at all on the 401. And he
After
looked at
you
me,
told him, will you
and he
stop
said to
talking
me-
about the traffic? And then you say a
Then I
half hour
stupidly-
later,
I was
what's
thinking
with the
out
traffic?
loud, and I said, "What is with all this traffic? Like, what?
Oh,
what
no,
the
no,
hell
no,
is
no,
going?"
no.
And then he looks at me and he goes, "I'm not saying anything. I zipped my lips." He's like, "Don't ask me. You told me to stop talking about it."
Wow.
was like,
Good for him.
That's true.
That shows
Fine.
incredible restraint. That's incredible restraint.
And I said,
Yeah.
"Sure, I get it. Fine." I don't, but I didn't need your constant commentary on it, like for an hour and a half plus, like once in a while, what's going on up here? Do you see anything? But it was just constant, like nothing else he had nothing else in his brain except to comment on the traffic for that long.
Because he's the one driving.
Yes. Well,
and now that's
I
all
was
you...
in it too. I'm sitting right there.
Yes,
but
but
you're
you
still-
don't have to. You're not focusing. You're
I
not
said, just turn
concentrating.
off
You're not
the iPad. Just turn off the GPS.
You're
Like,
supposed
we know
to
where we're
find us a way around the traffic.
That's your
Well, it's
job.
not like we're getting off the. We can't take the back roads all
Yes,
the way
you
to.
can.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. That'd be ridiculous. All
Well,
the
it
way to
works.
Milton? Oh God, that'd be horrendous.
Why don't you look?
So you stayed
You're
in
just sitting
traffic
there. Why don't you
jams.
look?
and
Well,
didn't-
we didn't get on
does
the
your-
highway. We did go around something, but anyway, yeah, it was just slow, and there was no reason for it.
It's that slow.
There was
then
one
I'm-
accident, but it
they
wasn't
will
a very
give
bad
you-
one.
you're-
No, nothing was closed.
They give you an alternate route. Get off. Get
Well,
off.
they weren't really. I don't know. Anyway, it was horrendous.
You
and
weren't
then
checking. I'm
Now
not for sure.
I
You didn't check,
still,
did you?
Since it's been like 3-4 days since, and I've not heard the end of my comment.
And nor should you.
Because you're focused on how much he went on about the traffic instead of the restraint he showed after your comment and how you never helped him in the first place.
I think he
That's
felt
right.
vindicated after my comment. Actually, I think it made him feel better.
Oh,
No, I know he was vindicated.
yeah. But was he thankful for anything on Thanksgiving?
No, not that day. I can tell
yeah,
you that.
Didn't think so.
Not
Yeah,
that day.
Didn't think so.
Not for a navigator.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman. And this podcast is brought to you by the Thistle Theater. Let's talk about the play.
The Ladies Foursome by
Yeah.
Norm Foster. Yeah, the Thistle Theater is in Embro. It's a little theater company, and they're doing the Ladies Foursome in November 8th, 9th, 10th, and then the 14th to 16th. And you can get tickets. They're $25 each, very affordable. Thistle-theater.com. Thistle-theater.com.
Got it.
Yeah, it's at the Old Town Hall in Rembro, which is historic and very cozy, very small stage, intimate, which is really nice to be able to see a play like this.
Yeah.
And they're discussing secrets, confessions, love, sex, children, everything in between, like a
Sweet.
typical ladies foursome on a golf course.
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's not a typical male
And it
foursome.
begins after a funeral, so you know
see,
that.
a male foursome would not be talking about any of the.
What do you talk about when you golf, Dave? Your next shot?
Not a lot. Mostly we just, we talk about how we hated that shot and we hated that shot.
You just talk about golf.
Really in the
much.
moment.
Yeah, we're very much in the moment.
Occasional chat about other sports.
We don't
watch.
discuss love, sex, children, and everything in between.
You don't take
But
that as some time to connect with your friends
that's why
emotionally.
my foursome would be a boring play, but this one isn't.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah.
Throw some drinks in there. It's a party.
Okay, sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
And they do, because they're celebrating their friend's funeral. And so they all gather in honor of their lost friend in this play. And then an old friend of that woman comes along and they all have to compare stories. And they get into it far
I like
more
that.
than a men's foursome would.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, if you want tickets, thistle-theater.com. Thistle Theater is in Embro. The actors, I know they're all working on it right now and doing lots of rehearsals. So check them out. Thistle-theater.com.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand. It's a podcast. It's the podcast that'll make you shriek like Prince Charles when he sees shrink wrap. Wait a minute, he's King Charles, isn't he?
Yes.
King Charles. I said Prince Charles. He's king.
What's with the shrink wrap?
Oh, well, that's what I would like to talk about, actually.
Oh, okay.
King
Really?
Charles, apparently, according to a new book, and this is an unauthorized biography.
Aren't they all?
Yes, I was just going to. Aren't they all?
He had a bizarre encounter with shrink wrap.
Can't even imagine.
Did he know what it was? I bet you he didn't know what it was.
He might not.
He
No.
didn't. No.
He didn't?
He didn't. It occurred when the then
is this
Prince
plastic?
of Wales. Listen, this is all. Let me explain this. This is from, I think, CTV. I don't know where this story comes from, but there apparently this unauthorized biography says it occurred when the then Prince of Wales walked into a dining room and was confronted with food covered in plastic wrap.
Sure.
Saran wrap. His reaction was reportedly quite dramatic. Charles shrieked upon seeing the shrink wrap, clearly taken aback by its presence. The Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla, quickly came to her husband's aid. Hearing the commotion, she rushed into the room to find Charles pointing at the shrink wrap in confusion. And when he asked, "What's this?" Camilla calmly replied, "Oh, darling, it's cling film."
Cling film,
yes. Aluminium.
Anyway, I came across this story. I think while preparing for this podcast as we record this, and I thought to myself, I watched I don't know how many seasons there are of The Crown.
Yes.
I don't, spoiler alert.
You're clearly an expert now.
Yeah, well, the Queen doesn't die, by the way, at the end of The Crown, by the way.
Oh, she hasn't yet. Okay.
She will.
I haven't finished it. I'm on the last season.
I've only watched the first season.
Oh.
Really? And that's it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, you have to get
I've just
more
started
into it.
the one with the kids, William and Harry.
Okay. Well, we enjoyed actually The Crown. There's parts of it that I think are sort of historically educational. Maybe not all historically accurate, but historically educational, and so that's always kind of interesting. But the Queen, I always felt like the Queen for all the many years, like all the years I was alive, the Queen was the Queen. We had the Queen. She was on the money. She was on the loony. She was on the toonie.
She was just there.
She was just there. But the Queen was, to me, stoic. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like
She's the Queen.
She was the Queen, and she did exactly what you expected her to do. I never felt like, I felt like she was probably pampered. I always felt like she probably didn't want to be pampered. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm
I
the
agree
Queen,
with
but
that.
don't, I don't need, it's nice that I have, but I don't need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Now,
Seemed that way, at least. Yeah.
Prince Philip, I
have a
always
theory
felt like
on
I always felt like Prince Philip kind of enjoyed some of that stuff.
Oh, he
Oh,
did.
yes, I think so.
But
Yeah, I
Charles,
think so.
Prince Charles, who is now our king, King Charles, Prince Charles, and this is what I find fascinating about this, the shrink wrap thing, is that Prince Charles, King Charles, is exactly who we think he is. Old Ham Hands is he is exactly who you think he is.
What? Like what?
Well,
Pampered.
from what I know from The Crown is he was a soft, insufferable little brat. And his father, Prince Philip, sent him away to boarding school to toughen him up, and he came back even softer.
Yeah.
And he's
Pretty much.
And he's stayed just as soft his entire life. Look how puffy his hands are.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I have a theory on that. The Queen was never meant to be the Queen.
No.
So she wasn't raised. I mean, she had a life of luxury, of course, but she wasn't raised to be the Queen. She wasn't. I don't assume she was quite as pampered as a future king would be when he's being raised, because from birth, this baby is going to be the king.
I
right.
see.
So you protect him and you get him all this
right.
special education and training and whatever, and
Okay.
he has a different life
Because
than all the other children of the
He
family.
is in line to be king.
He's in line for the throne. But the Queen never had that, because she just became queen when her father abdicated, right?
No,
Or
her
her
father
uncle.
died. Her
Uncle.
father died.
Her uncle
abdicated.
abdicated, then it was her father, and
then
she became right.
the heir.
Yes.
Yes.
So-
But
was the one.
I just looked it up, and she was 10 years old when her father became king. So she
Okay.
knew since she was 10 that she was eventually going to be queen.
Okay, I see.
But
Well,
she had
she
that
probably
10-year head
had-
start
Sure.
to kind of be
Of
free and
maybe
easy
not-
down the road she goes.
Yeah,
guess.
maybe not being as
Well, this will
spoiled
tell you-
or as protected.
Yeah.
He's
this will
always
tell
been
you.
protected.
Well,
this
this
guy.
will tell you. Here's some things from the book. For instance, according to the biography here, it claims that Charles embarked on a $34,000 Canadian, so that's 18,000 pounds, $34,000 Canadian royal train trip from Highgrove to Penrith. I have no idea. Just to visit a pub.
Yeah. I could see him doing
What a
that.
waste
That
of money.
checks
Yes.
out. He doesn't
Yeah.
care. He doesn't know what money is.
One of the most
he probably
one of his
doesn't
more
ever touch any money.
peculiar
No.
peculiar habits. and if you don't find the shrink wrap peculiar enough, King Charles involves, this is his morning teeth brushing routine. He has his valet squeeze exactly 1 inch of toothpaste onto his toothbrush
That's a lot.
every day.
That's quite a bit of toothpaste. 1 inch of toothpaste? It's
we're
like
not
a
done
pea-sized amount you're supposed to have.
This level of precision is reportedly ensured by using a special cloth ruler to measure the toothpaste.
No way. And he can't squeeze his own toothpaste? His
No,
valet?
He
or
doesn't
valet?
have to. Why
doesn't
would
have
he?
to.
The king
His whole
reportedly-
attitude is, why would I? I don't have to literally do any of this shit.
The king reportedly requires
Squeezing a
assistance
tube of toothpaste. It's not.
No.
That's
I'm
like.
not done. Let me finish.
Oh,
What does
God.
his valet
He
do for
requires-
him when he's sitting on the toilet?
Yeah.
He
Do they wipe
requires
his butt?
assistance with various aspects of his daily attire, including having his pajamas ironed to perfection
Ironed?
along with his shoelaces.
I did hear years ago that they iron the queen's sheets. I know that they did that. They do that. So I think they iron a
I
lot
don't
of
think
things.
that's a big deal.
There's quite a lot of items
I
in
think
between
the
sheets and
shoelaces is a
big
shoelaces.
deal.
Well,
How about his breakfast?
Shoelaces.
His breakfast meticulously arranged. He has 3 chilled balls of butter. He has his toast served on a silver rack.
Chilled butter,
cup-
so it's not even spreadable. Come on.
And a cup and saucer positioned just so.
Yeah, I can see that.
And do you remember? I believe we talked about this because we had read somewhere that he takes his custom-made toilet seat with him
There you
Yes.
go. Yes.
when he travels.
I think we did
This
talk
guy
about that.
claims, despite what Buckingham Palace says, they deny those claims. He claims, yeah, he does.
Of course he
He's got
does.
the toilet seat and still travels with his beloved childhood teddy bear,
Yes.
Winston.
Weird.
You're damn right.
Winston.
That's everything.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So he's
yeah.
in this in the food, whatever he's getting for food, looking at the cling wrap, and Camilla comes over and says,
He
"It's
shrieked.
cling wrap."
He shrieked.
He
That's
wouldn't
what it
know
is.
what it is. Like, he's never
He's probably
seen
never
food
touched it.
not
He's never
served
seen it
in
before.
literal silverware. Like, it's all silver. It's covered. It's got the
Do you
thing
think
on
he's
it.
ever had like McDonald's,
No.
like out of the box,
He doesn't even
like
heard of
like a
McDonald's.
burger out of the box? He's
The
heard
whole
of
point
McDonald's.
here.
No, he hasn't.
The
Yeah,
whole point
he's
here
got-
is
He
is-
doesn't know. Not that he hasn't had it. He actually doesn't know. He has not heard of it. Not a chance. I don't know that for a fact, but I know it's true.
Poor Camilla probably has to, because she's lived a normal life before. Well,
She came from the real world, yeah.
as normal as you
not
can
that
when you're that
real.
rich
Yeah,
and
No.
she was-
having a constant affair with the king. But she's, had to fend for herself, right? So she's done
Well,
things, and she's used cling
I don't
wrap.
know
And she's
about that. I
remember
wouldn't go that
when he
far.
had the thing about the pen, and he was signing something, and the pen didn't work, and he had a hissy fit about it, and she had to help.
Yes.
Out. She was there, and somebody got him a new pen, and he was, it was a whole thing, right?
Right.
And so, but I think she has to calm him down a lot.
Mm-hmm. She must be used to that.
She must be very
fine with it.
understanding, because that would annoy the hell out of me.
She must
Like, I'd
yes.
be like, man up and deal with it. This is
Of course,
the world.
she's very understanding. She understood that he was married by the time that she was doing
yeah.
all that for him,
Right. Yes, that's
and
true.
understood that.
Yes, that's
So you
fair.
think
yeah.
then, Rachel? You think he's a bit?
Prissy.
He's a lot.
Yes.
I think
he's-
I think he's more high maintenance than me, which is
I was just gonna say
Quite a bit.
You would be you would be an expert in that field.
at least I know what cling wrap is. The king is soft. He's soft and he's
puffy,
I don't know if he's.
I mean, yeah.
red.
Well, when you find out what he what
He
happened
probably
to him.
has a lot of inflammation. Like I think he indulges. He's
What
puffy.
does
I
that
think
mean?
inflammation in his body. I think he's probably
A diet in rich foods. A rich diet.
he could have whatever he wants. He's got
Exactly.
chefs. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
A lot
I've
of
had
gin.
ham hands too.
Yeah.
He doesn't have ham hands, does he? He's got ham ears. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
know he had
no,
ham
he's got
hands.
ham hands. Look at him.
Oh, does
Oh
he?
yeah. It's big old balloon animals.
They're all.
Okay.
Really,
Really,
you're an old man one day,
Yeah,
Forman, and
no.
you've got ham hands, and I'm coming back to you and being like, "Look at those old ham hands."
King Charles's hands looks like you filled a surgical glove with gin and then painted them bright red.
Oh my God!
I never thought his hands were that
They're
big, but
not
okay.
red, are they?
I didn't think they were
His
that
skin
big.
tone
No.
is red.
This is due to underwhelming demand. It's a podcast. We are Dave, Rachel, and Forman. This is the low-hanging fruit of podcasts. That's the perfect description of this podcast, the low-hanging fruit.
Well,
Easy.
that's how we sell it and package it. So you get what you get. It's underwhelming.
That's how we sell it and package it.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're the fruit that you discover has an old dead frog in the bag.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, we're not the fruit from the ground. We're not the apples that fell off the tree,
We're close, though. We're low-hanging.
but they're easily reachable. Yeah.
Well, if
Sure.
we're not sure what's fallen from the tree, people in air aren't sure what's falling from the sky.
Oh boy, that deserves a bell. Good for you.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
It took you a while to get there, but I respect it. So
Yeah, that was a good
That was
one.
a good one. It took you a while.
Yeah.
There was a seemingly nothing story that came out over the news last week where the Waterloo Regional Police were investigating reports of a drone in the area of Stanley and Maine in Ayr, the town, A-Y-R, Ayr, that was engaging in harassing behavior and causing property damage.
A drone.
A drone, yeah. It was said
So-
that someone was using a drone to drop
Yeah.
an unknown substance into houses, vehicles, and properties overnight.
I saw that, and that's all I saw. I didn't know really where it was or what. I had to click on the story to see that it wasn't my town
Yeah, because you had the drone.
because
right?
we still have the drone. People
Yeah.
hate that f***ing drone.
It's still going?
Oh yeah, and
It's
it's
been like a year.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, more than a year.
You
Yeah.
can't get rid of it.
I
Nobody-
know
nobody-
who it is. I think
Oh, do you?
Oh, okay,
I've been
you-
told who it is,
Oh, I
Go
see.
on.
but I don't know if anyone's talked to that person, and that person's not on Facebook to see the comments that people are making on the community page, right? So
It's best not to be on Facebook anyway.
Well,
if you're
he's-
not on Facebook, you're living a good life.
He
yeah.
doesn't need to be on Facebook. He's
He's
seen
on
everything
drone.
else you're doing.
He's
Yeah.
spying in everybody's backyard.
He knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
He knows
doesn't
what you're
need to-
physically doing.
He
Yeah.
doesn't
Anyway.
need to see that stuff.
I had to make sure it wasn't my town, and then I did read that it was an error. So there you
Yes.
go.
Well, not only was it not your town, it was also not a drone at all.
It wasn't a drone.
Here we are in October, and this investigation started in August.
August.
Wow.
Yeah. The police
Interesting.
at one point had to reach out to the University of Guelph to help identify the substance that was being dropped by this drone on homes, vehicles, and properties.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And the University of Guelph has determined that the substance is bird feces,
It's bird poop.
specifically from a blue heron.
This story makes
So
me
the blue heron
happy.
is the drone?
What's wrong with you
Yes.
people in small towns? Do you know what a drone is?
There is
Rachel?
no drone. It's just a bird.
Do you know what a drone is?
I know what a drone is.
It's a big bird up there that's pooping. and,
Let me
Come
tell
on.
you, people of air, drones make this sound like zzz,
Well, we know that.
Yeah, sure.
and it's loud. It is loud. You can definitely hear it.
You sure
if
it's not a-
you can't see it, you can hear it.
You sure you're not? You sure it's not
There's
just
not
a
more of a
heron?
flapping sound.
Yeah, come on.
Wow. So the blue
All
heron
this
was the
time
drone.
we thought that you had a drone in your little small town, Rachel. Turns out it's just a bird.
It's a bird. Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
but
So the bird's flying
this
around.
Is a months-long investigation.
It's
They had to
high
get
enough
the
in the
university
sky.
to investigate. Like, what a massive waste of resources.
That's a
Yes.
colossal waste of time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow.
And then the newscasters have to go on and talk about no, it's just a bird shitting on everything, which is hilarious to me.
It's just a heron.
Did
Yeah.
anyone look at what the bird was dropping and be like, "Oh, it's bird poop"?
It's obviously like can you not identify bird poop? Of course,
Yeah.
it's bird
I
poop.
mean, we all have it on our cars.
Yes.
Like it's everywhere, right?
But it's
now,
obvious.
specifically from a blue heron, I don't know. Does that look different? I have no idea.
I think it would be a little larger than from a robin.
Well, yes, that's true. But the blue heron would have been high enough in the sky that they couldn't tell what it is then. So that seems odd.
Look, here's what I would suggest to you, Rachel, and all the people in your small
It's
town.
not me. It is.
I'm just
We
saying,
have the drone. We
sure
have
you
a
do.
drone.
Oh, sure you do.
Yeah.
That's what
We're
that's
not
what,
the ones that don't know what a drone is.
That's what you say.
What color
Have
is
you
it?
investigated it yet?
It's black
Has anybody
with a red
investigated
flashing light.
it? Look, don't.
Yes.
I would
have.
advise the
I've
next
seen
time
it in the sky.
The next time you see it in the sky, don't stand directly under it, Rachel.
Try and move. I'll be the moving target.
If you know what's good for you,
If I just run around a bit, there's less of a chance it'll hit me. Zigzag.
That's right. I mean,
Okay.
come on. So all of this time, the crazy people of air,
Yeah.
where Rachel doesn't live,
No, it's not me. These people are dumber than me. I know what a drone is.
you just haven't investigated yours yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you should
Yeah.
investigate it and
We have
find
some
out
cops
exactly
that live in the
what
area
it is.
who are not thrilled about the drone and who
Well, maybe
have some
they'd like to
opinions about
start
that.
a month-long
Yes.
investigation like the
Perhaps
Waterloo
they
Regional
should.
Police Service.
Yeah, and then find out for sure what you're dealing with here.
Yeah.
And then have to put out
Yeah.
these news releases that no, it's just bird feces.
Yeah.
It's just bird
It's a bird pooping on
boy.
you.
Hearing the news read that was as delightful as back in Halifax. They had a water treatment pump go down because everyone was flushing their unflushable wipes.
Oh. Even if
And
they're
how-
flushable, they're not.
And
Fun
Halifax Water had to put out a statement like, you should only be flushing the 3 Ps: pee, poo, and paper.
Oh, please.
Okay. Sure. Yep.
When you have to tell people that, it's
And make
you
a
know,
journalist
we've reached-
say that with a serious
Yes.
face.
We've reached the stage
Pee,
where,
poo, and paper.
yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
that's true.
Yeah,
If I was the journalist saying that, I would definitely crack a laugh at that point. Be like,
you'd have to.
and then give
Anyway.
everybody a look like, come
Next
on,
time,
guys.
Don't look up. when you
Don't
see
make
that.
me say it again.
Don't get under that drone, Rach.
Zigzag pattern running.
Yeah, run.
You sure it wasn't just blue with 2 reflective eyes? instead?
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand. It's a podcast. We are Dave, Rachel, and Forman, and we are approaching our 100th episode of this thing that we do, this podcast. And we're going to do that apparently in front of a crowd.
We are.
So I'm told.
Yeah,
We're doing
sold
a-
out crowd.
Yes, I'm
Sold
surprised. I know. I wasn't
Thousands.
sure if anybody would want to come. Well, I mean, it's a small crowd, but it's happening, and we're doing a live show on November 2nd. So if you're not coming, you will be able to hear it because we're going to make that into a podcast episode, obviously. So you'll hear that.
So the date is irrelevant, but you'll hear it.
It's our 100th episode. Congratulations, guys.
Uh-huh.
Happy 100th.
As I said, we never get old. Ha!
Hey, we had and you can always send us messages. Email daverachelforman@gmail.com.
Please.
Leave us a message on Facebook Messenger. Leave us voice memos. Leave a comment anywhere. And a lot of people did when we first floated the idea of having a live show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Beth had wrote, the question is, would you come? And Beth wrote, absolutely. This is it. DUD live.
Aw.
Live. That's
Yes.
us.
I hope you got
Dave,
in.
Dave and Elmer said, where and when? See, I'm well over 50 and not a fan of going out at night. And if it's on a weekend
That's
before
right.
the end of November, chances are I'll be at the trailer, but yet I would still love to go.
Okay.
He's
All
very
right.
specific with his demands
Yes.
there, but okay,
We
thank
have
you,
to
Dave.
meet- yeah, meet
we
his
appreciate
What we
schedule.
meant is it's on a weekend. It's in the morning.
Yes,
It is in the morning.
It is early.
Yeah, it's not a
at night.
nighttime thing.
Not a nighttime.
Catered to
Yeah.
you, Dave. Gail said she'd love to see us live. She watches on YouTube every week.
Aw,
Janice
thanks.
says, me too. Kelly Lynn says, yes, I would. Verna says, I would love to see a live show. You guys are so funny. Linda said, that'd be so cool. Jerry said, I think it'd be a great time. Anne said, I would absolutely love to come. I have asked for this before. It would be
Wow.
great to see you 3 in person. I watch on YouTube every week.
Oh, very
Oh,
nice.
that's nice.
All right.
There's all kinds of these. We'll be there with bells on, says John.
Aw.
Dan says, if Smartless can do it, so can you guys.
Well, Smartless did
Well,
take
we're
their
not
little
quite.
show on the road, and they were selling out arenas, for goodness sake. So good for
Yes,
them.
I
Yes.
mean they're superstars in
Well,
their
they're
own right.
3 celebrities who
Yeah.
go to a theater and invite a 4th
and
celebrity
invite
onto the show.
other celebrities.
Right.
So
Yes.
it's
They're-
hard to compete
yeah.
with that. But
It's
sure.
hard to
We
compete
also
with
have
that.
a comment from Brian that asks the simple question, will Dave talk to me?
Oh.
And Brian lives
I
in
think
St.
so.
Mary's, David.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I haven't talked to Brian in a long
Well, I
time.
hope Brian comes.
We'll
I haven't
see.
seen him in a
I
while.
hope he
That'll be
comes.
good.
Brian
Yeah.
is coming. Brian and his daughter
Good.
Cassidy are coming, so that'll be
Oh,
nice to
good.
see as well.
Good.
Yes, I'll talk to Brian,
Melissa
of course.
Cowenberg is coming, and she says, OMG, can I just say I am so excited to meet you 3. I'm sure it'll be nice for you to finally put some faces to the names. And actually, yes, because we do get messages from a lot of the same people, so it will be nice to know what you look like and meet you in person. And then we can say we know one another, right? Then we're friends. She said,
Absolutely.
also, she was the Melissa. Remember the one Melissa who was like way behind on episodes? And we
Sure.
said,
Yes.
Melissa,
Yes.
when you get to this episode, anyway, that's this Melissa. She said, if you guys never posted that video of looking for Melissa, I'd probably still be missing. Now I make time to listen every week. I knew I missed you guys when you left the radio, but now the band is back together and it's like you never left. Now you can include inappropriate language, which makes it even more hilarious.
Yes.
Although our live show is kid-friendly because there will be some kids there. I
Yeah.
do know that.
Mine and yours.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yours-
a few others that I know
well,
of.
if your kids are coming, then I'm swearing.
If you
I don't
swear in
usually,
front of
but
Julia,
I
she'll
will.
feel like
Just
such
to-
an adult. Yeah.
Just for that occasion, sure. I'll do that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if we want to end on a funny, lighthearted note,
Yes.
we are sent a clip of a stand-up comedian. We'll just listen to the beginning, perhaps, by Beth. Beth Beecroft says, it sounds like Forman wrote this material.
Oh, what? Oh, let's hear. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Checking into a hotel in Canada, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, there is a kids' hockey tournament there.
Yeah. There is.
That is true.
And they are staying on your floor, aren't they? Every single kid.
Yeah.
I've toured 46 different countries around the world. This is the only place in the world that just lets their children take over an establishment
Yes.
for the weekend. The kids are in charge. It's the Lord of the Flies. There's a pecking order. There's a conch. There's weapons, you know.
Yes.
And if you're a parent in the crowd tonight and you're one of these people that lets their child take over a hotel, on behalf of the rest of us, go fuck yourself because...
All right, I get it.
It's
All right,
true.
that's very true.
It's true. They
It's
do
very
take
true.
over. And
Yeah,
the parents
it's
are
very-
just drinking in one of the rooms, so they don't care, right?
That's awesome. That's
As long as
cool.
the kids leave me alone.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
As we enter the hockey tournament season, we're
Yes.
all on
Yeah,
to you.
really. I know.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Well, by
know.
the way,
We're all
shout
on
out
to
to
you.
the Thistle Theater, and thank you for sponsoring this fine podcast. We appreciate your support.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to sponsor us, you can get a hold of us, right?
Yes, DaveRachelForman@gmail.com. If you want sponsorship information, if you
Yep.
want to just, give us your thoughts on something, that's great too. We love to get your emails. Or just keep in touch. Say what you liked or maybe what you didn't like. But if it's if you like it too much, dislike it too much, just keep that to yourself maybe.
No, I love it. If you hate it, we love it.
wanna
if you
know.
hate- Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, if you want to say something about bad about Dave and or Rachel, have at it.
Please do.
I'll make sure I bring it up for you. I got your back.
Right, okay, thanks. I'll backseat drive this thing right into the fucking ground.
We know that.